Hi, what I'm going to do is an octopus, one of our favourite cephalopods. Because I'm going to teach you how to create underlayers with crayons, I'm working quite big. I'm going to use A3 paper. Obviously just use what you have. I'm going to draw with a pencil, and you probably want some watercolour paint. Just as an experiment, I'm going to try with food colouring. I'm using red and blue food colouring. Red and blue watercolour paint will work just as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my octopus. So this shape that we think is their head actually has all their internal organs, including their stomach. One eye, two eyes, the eye is in here, and they have a sideways eye slit. Now, then I'm going to go out and do 4 of the tentacles. So one is going to come out here, come back over. So these are the front tentacles. So we all know octopus have 8 legs. One, two, three. Do one more big main front tentacle. So did you know an octopus has 9 brains? Each arm actually has its own brain inside it. 3 hearts. They're pretty amazing animals. The only part of their body they can't bend is their beak, which is underneath in here. It looks like a parrot's beak. They can squeeze through a hole this big. As long as their beak can fit in it, they can squeeze themselves in. Okay, what happens with these animals is in cold temperatures and at high pressure, they found that copper is actually more efficient than iron as a way to carry oxygen in their blood. Now, because of that, an octopus's blood is blue. Now that's because of the copper, which is what we have is hemoglobin based on iron. Iron is red. That's why our blood is red. Right, how many legs have we got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's do a bit coming down. Another leg here. And this should be the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, let's do one more coming up here. And 8. So now we have our basic octopus shape. What I'm going to do is create all of my highlights in crayon. So when I paint over it, my water-based ink or paint won't stick. So first thing I'll do is the dark lines and the shadows. I'm going to use a black So, going round just my most important lines and my deepest shadows. Oh, I wanted to go over. Whoops. Oh well. Okay, now I'm going to start putting some shadows in. Based on where I think my direction of light's coming from, I'm shadowing the other side. Starting to look pretty good. Alright, next to those shadows, I'm going to do a grey bit. So I'm just following a formula, and anywhere there's a shadow, I'm going to do a grey line next to it. So it's basically adding a second layer of shadow, phasing it in. Okay, then I'm going to do a light colour for my highlights. Anywhere there's a reflection, keep doing that, breaking my crayons. Must be just too strong. So these are the points where light is reflecting off. And the last colour is in between, and it's my mid-tone, and it's the one that ties everything together. If you need the picture I'm referring to, it's attached in a PowerPoint. There's also all the body parts. Oh, I've forgotten the siphon. That's a very important body part. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet the paper. All of the paper you could do with a spray bottle if you're lazy. I've got quite a big paintbrush, so it's not really going to take me that long. And what I'm going to do is blue for the water, red for the octopus's body, You don't actually have to do it in those colours. You could do your octopus any colour you want. In South Australia we have an octopus called a blue-ringed octopus. They're very common. They're about that size. Each one of those octopus has enough poison in it to kill 20 adults. Okay, nice and wet, ready for my blue. So, not too much, so I'm just watering it down now and spreading what I did put a nice bright vivid colour. I'm dipping my brush just into water and trying to spread out the colour I do have. So it's nice and subtle. Oh yeah, don't forget to put your name on it. It's too late for me, my paper's too wet now. Alright, now I'm going to change to a smaller brush for my red, and I'm going to follow the shadow lines. So I'm drawing with my paintbrush. So instead of really toning it down like I did with the ocean colour, I'm letting it go quite deep. It's a really cool effect. Which reminds me of the joke, how many times do you have to tickle an octopus to make it laugh? Yes, the answer is 10. 10 tickles. Get it? 10 tickles? I'm really liking this effect. Okay. Alright, there we have it. An octopus done with wet on wet.